So the number one question I see constantly flooding the comments is simply, which AI image generator is the best right now? Honestly, that is a completely fair question, but instead of just running through the usual boring top 10 treadmill, I want to take a genuinely more useful route for you if you're actually trying to build a channel or a brand. I'm going to walk through all the popular tools, call out exactly where each one shines, and critically, where it tends to trip up. Then I'll show you the actual practical part, how to effortlessly turn your deep dive long-form reviews into snackable viral clips so your valuable content actually gets seen. Just a quick FYI, this entire breakdown is not some paid puff piece for any of the image platforms, because I am not sponsored by them in any way. However, I will definitely tell you about a specific tool I personally use every day to edit and scale all of my content, and that tool is called Vizard. We'll dive much deeper into Vizard later on, but for now, let's jump right into the current image generation lineup. I'm deliberately not ranking these in any rigid, boring order, because honestly, every single one is doing incredibly interesting stuff right now. The right pick truly depends entirely on what specific kind of content you actually want to make. Let's start with Midjourney, which is essentially the original gangster of painterly, super atmospheric AI art. If you were around in the AI image space back in 22, Midjourney basically rewrote the entire playbook for achieving stylized, cinematic visuals. The core appeal is incredibly simple. You get gorgeous, museum-worthy images from just very short prompts. It's fantastic for pure aesthetic exploration and artistic experiments where you just throw a few evocative words in and get stuff that looks like high-end concept art. However, the main downside is that it has gotten super deep into its own complex lore with tons of specific dash commands and niche prompt hacks. This can feel like a massive amount to swallow if you're a beginner creator just trying to get started. If your goal is consistent, repeatable outputs, think storyboards or product mock-ups, Midjourney isn't the most reliable choice yet, even though they are constantly working to fix that. Pricing operates on a subscription basis with different tiers, and unfortunately, there is no free trial period to test the waters. For many working creators, the mid-tier subscription makes the most sense, but if you need a predictable batch of unique shots for a whole series, it can quickly get quite pricey. That said, for just achieving that rapid, glamorous-looking visual flair, it is still very hard to genuinely beat. Next up, we have Leonardo AI, which truly lives up to its reputation as the Swiss Army knife of the group. It emerged around the same early wave and successfully carved out its niche by allowing creators to lock in specific styles and train their own custom presets for better repeatability. If you are a true power user who loves to tinker with settings, Leonardo is absolutely amazing, thanks to its style presets and custom training options. They also have really cool features like flow state, which renders images nearly as fast as you can actually type the prompt. Plus, they provide a surprisingly solid upscaler that does a great job cleaning up the final image resolution. The biggest trade-off, however, is that Leonardo can sometimes feel incredibly overwhelming to navigate. There are tons of features and powerful tools tucked away in non-obvious corners of the system. For true beginners, this complexity can unfortunately cause severe analysis paralysis, but for those willing to invest the time, it's a legitimate studio-level toolkit. The good news is they do offer a free tier, making it definitely worth poking around in just to see what it can do. Moving on to Runway Frames, this tool has become particularly notable for how consistently it manages reference images across different shots. This ability to hold style and subject more reliably than most other models is super useful when you are doing character work or serialized visuals. When it first launched, Frames felt a little bit rough around the edges, but once those crucial reference features finally landed, it genuinely changed the game for many artists. If your primary focus is creating video content and you need a specific visual look that carries across multiple sequential images, Frames is absolutely fantastic. The platform offers a free trial credit pack, and the higher tiers obviously unlock more throughput and access to premium features. It is worth noting that some of the supposedly unlimited tiers still have credit mechanics that can throttle your speed after exceptionally heavy use. But in practical testing, that slower mode usually isn't a deal breaker for most ongoing projects. OpenAI's image generation capability, accessed through the powerful GPT-4o model, yes, that mouthful, is all about conversational image making. This approach is so interesting because it perfectly blurs the creative line between standard chat interaction and actual image design. You can literally talk to the model in real time and refine the scene compositionally, like you are collaborating with a live partner. Instructions regarding specific text placement, complex compositional needs, and overall prompt coherence are remarkably strong in this system. The resulting art styles can sometimes feel a bit safe or just generally bland right out of the box, you have to admit. However, with consistent experimentation, you can certainly coax much more personality out of the model's output. One practical quirk you must be aware of is the content moderation and associated rate limits. Depending on exactly how you access the service, you might run into daily image caps that stop your creation flow. If you inherently prefer a conversational workflow for all your image creation needs, this is a genuinely fun one to play with. Especially so when you are prototyping new concepts through a quick back-and-forth iterative style. Now let's talk about Ideogram, which has firmly established itself as the current champion when it comes to on-image text. If you need visuals that feature precise typography or perfectly realistic embedded text, like on book covers or UI mockups, Ideogram made a huge splash at its 23 launch. They have iterated incredibly fast since then, adding features like canvas editing, batch generation, and overall improved aesthetics. For crafting thumbnails, title treatments, or any visually text-heavy asset, it has quickly become the easiest go-to solution. The platform is priced quite reasonably with tiers designed for everyone from hobbyists all the way up to serious professionals. And I must mention that the interface is refreshingly clean, which is a welcome change of pace from some competitors. I personally use it a lot whenever I need text-centric visuals and want something that looks polished straight out of the generator without heavy post-work. Then there's Adobe Firefly, and its massive selling point is that it is safe for commercial use, which is a huge factor for many businesses. While Adobe's initial release wasn't absolutely perfect, Firefly has since landed solidly as a reliable, commercially protected option. The biggest advantage is Adobe's backing and their explicit licensing stance. Firefly outputs come with clear commercial protections. That peace of mind is incredibly huge if you are making assets that you plan to sell, distribute widely, or publish publicly. Artistically, Firefly tends to lean towards polished, almost stock photo-style outputs, but they have been adding more creative style controls. Pricing conveniently ties directly into Adobe's existing credit model, which is seamless if you already live inside their creative apps. Firefly integrates cleanly into that established workflow, making adoption very easy for current subscribers. Next up is Flux and the entire open-source wave, which brings the pure power of the community to image generation. Flux, released by Black Forest Labs in 2024, really shook things up because it is open source and incredibly flexible to modify. You have the freedom to run it locally on your own hardware, and many platforms have since picked it up to offer Flux-powered options. FreePic, for instance, cleverly combines Flux with curated styles and their own Mystic model on the back end for some really appealing results. Other platforms like Core.ai and OpenArt swiftly adopted Flux, meaning if you like to tinker with models or comfy UI workflows, this space is pure gold. There's also a whole creative economy growing up around Flux, with community presets and custom upscalers being shared constantly. If you demand maximum creative control and the ability to run models entirely on your own terms, the open source terrain is undeniably the place to play. However, you need to accept that it is inherently less plug-and-play than the major commercial hosted platforms. Next, let's look at Rev, which positions simplicity as its main feature, essentially embracing minimalism as a core strength. Rev shot up the charts quickly because its interface is refreshingly zen. You simply type your prompt, hit render, and then repeat the cycle. It particularly excels when aiming for pure photorealism, although it is certainly capable of generating other styles as well. You won't find 100 different tweaking sliders here, and frankly, that is exactly the intended point of the whole design. If your preference is straightforward image outputs, without the cognitive overhead of 50 optional settings, Rev feels like a true breath of fresh air. They offer daily free credits, giving you about 20 free images per day, and their paid packs are generally considered very cheap. If you're the kind of creator who just wants to iterate incredibly fast without getting lost in endless menus, Rev is wonderfully appealing. Recraft is another platform that has been rapidly growing, particularly appealing to designers because of its vector workflows. It exports clean color palettes, scalable vectors, and has specific features to turn AI imagery into practical design elements you can actually use. Their infinite style feature is quite cool because it allows you to blend multiple looks together into unique hybrid styles, great for concept work. If your process frequently moves between pixel-based graphics and vector workflows, Recraft is definitely worth a deep dive. Finally, let's cover Imagen, which is Google's series of image models, often found under the name Imagine. The newer versions of Imagen have gotten significantly better at maintaining visual coherence and highly imaginative rendering. It is now showing up on many different platforms via API, meaning you'll see it operating under the hood in places like FreePic or LTX Studio. Imagen generally demonstrates an excellent understanding of very descriptive, detailed prompts and often yields truly creative, sometimes surprising results. Okay, so after all that, what does this massive lineup actually mean for you as a growing content creator? Well, the first major realization is that there is absolutely no single generator that is objectively the best for every single task you might need it for. You will often get the absolute strongest, most compelling results by combining outputs from a few different generators and adding a little bit of human editing. The second point is that producing content specifically about these tools, reviews, direct comparisons, test runs, is incredibly clickable content. The real trick, the part that burns creators out, is how to take that long-form experiment and efficiently turn it into quick, viral-ready short clips. And that, my friends, is precisely where the Vizard platform steps in to completely change your workflow. If you spend hours making one long video comparing Midjourney against Leonardo, against Runway, against Flux, you do not want to manually chop out the best 5 moments for TikTok and Shorts. Vizard completely automates that entire process, delivering ready-to-post content optimized specifically for TikTok vertical, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts. It handles the necessary captions and pacing adjustments automatically, making sure the content fits the platform's unique style. So instead of a multi-hour editing session, you get a whole batch of tailored content ready to go with minimal effort. The next feature is Auto Schedule, which lets you batch create your single long review once and set it and forget it. You set the frequency, say 1 short post every day, and Vizard queues and publishes the clips without you needing to babysit the uploads. This means you can focus on creating the next big, long-form piece while Vizard handles your short-form consistency for a whole week. Then there is the Content Calendar view, which is crucial for overall strategic management. Here you can reschedule posts, tweak a specific caption, or even swap out a thumbnail across all platforms from one single dashboard. This centralized control is huge for creators who need to stay consistent without feeling perpetually chained to their uploading schedule. Let me walk you through how this actually feels in a real-world scenario, focusing on the time savings. I'll record one 12 to 20-minute deep dive, perhaps comparing Midjourney's painterly flair against Leonardo's studio controls. Vizard then intelligently pulls a handful of those high-energy excerpts, the funniest lines, the best image reveals, and the key practical takeaways. It then auto-edits these into perfectly vertical clips, even adding a smart caption designed to boost initial engagement. After that, I just review the clips, maybe tweak 1 or 2 titles, and then hit publish or just let Vizard roll them all out automatically over the next week. It saves me an enormous amount of time, and far more importantly, it ensures my valuable content actually reaches more people across platforms. Now, why does Vizard fit into this creator stack better than just brute force editing or using basic scheduling tools? Other scheduling tools are great for posting, but they absolutely do not extract the viral moments for you automatically. Dedicated clip editors help you chop footage, but they cannot reliably find those specific viral fragments the way Vizard's specialized AI does. And if you try to outsource this crucial clipping to a human editor, you immediately lose the speed and that essential spontaneity. Let's look at a couple of practical examples where this synergy really shines for a creator. If my long video topic is best generators for thumbnails, I'll use Ideogram for text, Midjourney for moodboards, and Rev for photo mockups. Vizard then automatically pulls the exact thumbnail reveal moment, the short tutorial slice, and my one-liner critique into 3 separate short clips. Each resulting clip is then individually optimized for the platform it's aimed at. A speedy tip for TikTok versus a mini tutorial for Shorts. Here's another great angle, repurposing an entire multi-tool comparison into a mini-series. If each segment in your long video is 2 or 3 minutes, Vizard can create a mini episode for each specific tool tested. That creates a sequence of short-form content that builds a narrative over several days, which is how channels really scale without creator burnout. Let's briefly circle back to a few honest notes about the core limitations across the actual image generators we discussed. Midjourney's output can be stunningly beautiful, but often unpredictable and simply not great for exact repeatability. Leonardo is incredibly powerful, but often feels too dense, resulting in a significant learning curve for new users. Runway is fantastic for its reference capabilities, but you risk getting throttled if you exceed certain credit usage thresholds. OpenAI's conversational image workflows are incredibly smooth, but can sometimes lean towards being stylistically too conservative. Firefly provides that all-important legal peace of mind, but the artistic output can occasionally feel a bit too polished or stocky. Flux is tremendously customizable and open, but it absolutely requires more hands-on model plumbing and technical setup. Rev is wonderfully simple for quick iteration, but it understandably lacks the deep control knobs found in more complex systems. Recraft is definitely designed forward and excellent for vectors, but it remains a slightly more niche tool in the broader image space. The overarching point here is, you must pick the right generator for the specific job at hand. Then, crucially, you need the clip creation and publishing workflow to effectively match that output for consistent social growth. Pricing and overall accessibility vary widely across all these platforms, with many offering free tiers or starter credits to experiment with. Vizard, too, offers a completely free trial, so you can personally see how the auto-editing and scheduling features genuinely change your entire workflow. I always strongly recommend you try the free tiers of the generators you like and pair that effort with a short Vizard trial period. Make just one demo video, let Vizard automatically create all your accompanying shorts, publish them, and then see what performance lift you actually get. The bottom line is this: there is no single image generator that is destined to rule them all in every single scenario. The genuinely smart move is to strategically use different generators for their specific strengths. Moodboards from Midjourney, text from Ideogram, production frames from Runway, and photoreal tests from Rever. And then, the critical step, you must let a tool like Vizard turn those long-form experiments into a constant, reliable stream of short-form content. That combination is the most dependable way I have personally found to successfully scale a channel without needing to hire an entire dedicated editing team. If you are curious about this workflow, please try Vizard alongside your favorite generators for just one solid week. Make just one long review, let Vizard do the heavy lifting of cutting and scheduling, and then compare the resulting engagement metrics against your usual manual process. I truly think you will be genuinely surprised by how much time this frees up for you and how consistent your daily posting cadence instantly becomes. All right, that concludes our comprehensive tour of the current AI image landscape and the scaling solution. Go drop a comment right now and let me know which generator is your current go-to favorite or what kind of content you are most eager to automate next. If you've already used Vizard in your own workflow, tell the community what specific feature saved you the absolute most amount of time this week. And if you haven't yet experienced the benefit, please give that free trial a quick spin and report back your findings to us all. Thank you so much for watching and reading all of this today, and I sincerely look forward to seeing you in the next video.